welcome to Account of Stewardship. This is a program that we get to hold our leaders accountable, people in government and people out of government. And today our focus is on the National Automotive Design and Development Council, headed by a very young, dashing, vibrant auditor, Mr. au-ecosoc Joseph Oshanipi. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you coming from?
I have background in finance as a trained accountant.
au-ecosoc Joseph Oshanipi has a rich educational and professional background. He obtained a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. He holds a Master of Business Administration from the University of Benin. A distinguished Fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, au-ecosoc Joseph Oshanipi is also a Certified Information Systems Auditor. His career trajectory began in 1996 with a role as a Senior Internal Auditor at Iglu Organization. In the year 2000, he joined Zenith Bank as an auditor. In the year 2013, au-ecosoc Oshanipi crossed over to GIG as Group Head Internal Audit and Control. In 2019, while still overseeing the financial aspects of the GIG Group, Joseph Oshanipi was nominated to spearhead strategic projects at the Jet Motor Company Electric Vehicles, a subsidiary of GIG Group, and subsequently became the first Chief Operating Officer of Jet Systems Automobile Industry Limited in 2021, a position he held until his current appointment as Director General of a National Automotive Design and Development Council in the year 2023.
In the course of professional experience, I've gone through different sectors: finance, logistics, transportation, finally manufacturing that has to do with assembling of motor vehicle. One of the vehicle assembly company in Nigeria before I came
Also,
here.
you're in the private sector.
So all these were in private sector right here in Nigeria.
Wow. So all that you are now bringing to bear in the mandates of the council.
Yes, exactly. So the experience prepared me for
Yes. So let us come to the council. How has your day-to-day operations been since you came?
Yeah, the council, I would say, have the mandate to regulate and promote automotive sector. And in doing that, we have a lot of stakeholders that will work with the assembler, the manufacturers of motor vehicle, the component manufacturer, and not only that, because if you look at backward integration, we see that this sector has the capability to have one of the greatest impacts on the life of everyone as well as the country. When I say that, I mean in time of job generation, and then the kind of volume of funds that is going to this sector. You measure that by the volume of imports every year, the amount Nigerians spend on vehicle, be it vehicle directly or component parts, because you have to service your vehicle and all this. And then you now look at
so all of the spare part sector is under your
yes. And then when you now go back again, you are dealing with mechanics because they are still auto, and you are dealing with a lot of things. So it means you have to engage a lot of people, and we have the mandate to do that. And again, if there's any new technology in the sector, it is our mandate also to promote those technology and come up with policies and programs that will lead to the transfer of those technology to help domesticate those technology. And that's why we are so much involved with the CNG and then the new energy vehicle, which is either CNG or electric vehicle in Nigeria.
So as the 5th Director General of the Council, what is your assessment of the execution of the mandate?
Yeah.
Or the status report when you came?
When I came, the council has been making steady progression on achieving the mandate, and this is what we also are working on. As I came in, we decided to look at those things that can make us move faster. And the first one we approached is component part development, because with that, it affects a lot of people. Because we are not only looking at the vehicle we are producing, we are looking at the component parts. We've been working on how this can improve. So we are having more improvement in terms of number of vehicles manufactured in Nigeria. What we have today, when you compare 2024 figure to 2023 to 20, we've been having steady progression in that. We have been having steady progression also in component parts. As of today, we have companies now that are manufacturing brake pad. We have companies now that are manufacturing air filter, and we have worked with some companies that have the capacity to manufacture some of the plastic parts of tricycle and motorcycle. So we have assessed their capability, and we are going to support them with policy that will discourage importation, and that is what we call deletion policy. So we are working on the deletion policy to support them, so that those ones that we can produce it, we are going to delete them from what importer will enjoy. Because when you import kits, you enjoy some tax or duty rebate waiver. So by the time we pull them out of the one you enjoy duty waiver, it means those ones are going to be charged separately from the other kits. That's the essence of deletion. And we are working on that. So we are targeting the third quarter of this year to bring that one to 4. And again, we've been having, just as I said, having this steady progression. We are working with some young Nigerians to design, produce a vehicle. We are on it, and we have a department working on that, especially a bus that can be used as intra-city, intrastate, and interstate commuting, moving our people from one place to the other. We are working on this, and the essence of this is we want to increase the percentage of local component, that's a local content in the production of vehicle.
Okay, so we're going to see a wholly made Nigerian car very soon, from what you're telling us.
We are working toward that. Yes, when you say only, you may not get a 100%, so but gradually, with the level we are now, we are moving upward. As of today, we have gone beyond where we were 2 years ago, and we continue to move upward. Our target was, and still remain, 40%. But with this one we are working on, we want to beat that 40% target.
Okay. So what steps are you making in collaboration with stakeholders to make this happen in line with President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda?
Our stakeholders here include, number one, the assemblers, the component part manufacturers, the people that provide material for the component parts. For example, if you want to do tire, some people will provide component material for you to do the tire. So let me pick oil filter. For you to produce oil filter, you need paper and you need the iron sheet that you are going to use. So those components will still work with them so that they will be able to get them at a very good price. Because if you don't get them at good price, you will not be able to produce at good price. So we work with all these people. And what we are doing with them, number one, we want to first of all know what are their challenges. Like in December, we did an engagement where we brought together majority of the stakeholders, Ministry of Finance, Custom, VIO, clearing agents. We brought in also the assemblers and the component part manufacturer. We explained where the challenges were. And with that engagement, we realized that some challenges were due to lack of information or knowledge. Like some say, oh, it took us so days, so weeks, so months to process item. And somebody was saying, I did my own within 7 days because I have the information that you have to do it online. You don't need to go through paperwork and everything. So you do it online, you get response immediately and you sort everything out. So all these ones are part of what we are engaging them, so that the time it takes each of doing business will improve, and then we'll be able to cut all those excesses that make the cost to grow. Because if you don't get all this in time, your kids will enter tomorrow. You are going to pay more, and when you pay more, you want to add that one to your cost. So all these are what we are working on. And part of what we are working on is to educate Nigerians, to let them know that made in Nigerian vehicles are as good as those one we buy from abroad. Because if we don't have that knowledge, we may believe that they are inferior brand. No, they are not inferior. And we know why some Nigerians have this notion. Because some of our people don't have after sales care for the vehicle. So we are working with the stakeholder to make sure that we have workshops across the country, especially the major cities in Nigeria. So I don't need to start moving my vehicle to the third or fifth state from here in order to get it serviced or in order to repair it. And when there is a material or a part that I need to replace, I don't need to park my vehicle for weeks before those parts come. So we are working with stakeholders to make sure we address all this. As we are addressing this, more customer or the user of vehicle are having more faith in Nigerian-made vehicle, and this will translate to more business, more job, and then
real time.
Yes, more job and improvement in the economy.
Okay. So, what are the major achievements you're looking to conclude for the council before you go?
Number one, there is going to be more patronage of Nigerian-made vehicle. We are going to increase the number of vehicles produced in Nigeria, more employment, increase in the employment of Nigerians in this sector, and then increase in the percentage of local content, that is local component development. So these are the major ones, and then be able to produce our own vehicle that we are going to design, put material together, design them, and do them in Nigeria. And not only that, we are working on completing the test center, because the test centers are part of the major ingredient to production of vehicle in the country. Test center work like this. For example, we have the material test center and we have component test center. For every component you produce, material are used to produce the component. You have to test this material that they are of good quality. I mentioned flat sheet iron. For example, if you use flat sheet steel, so if you use steel, that steel must be of specified prescription and meet the quality that you want. So the flat sheet, for example, when we have to test it and make sure that the material is okay. After we have tested and we are sure of the material, we now need to test the components that is produced from the material. So as we are producing the material, we are producing the component. So you need to test the material and be sure that the material meets the prescribed standard. And then if it's made the standard, you can now go to production. When you produce, you now test the component after production. So this is why we said we need to now put in place the laboratory where all these tests can be carried out. So we complete this by special grace of God before the end of this. Actually, the first phase from this.
What do you think has been the major challenges for the automotive industry in Nigeria?
The first one has to do with all of us. The why I say all of us is why is majority of us don't have faith and that belief in Nigeria vehicle. So when we change that mindset, and all of us now believe that if I drive, can I mention it? If I drive Innocent, it's not different. If I drive Shanghai by Mikano, if I drive DAC by CIG, if I drive Landa by Jet, if I drive vehicle from North or Land Institute, they are of the same quality with the one we import from abroad. So it means immediately we have that mindset, we now have that faith and belief in the works of local assemblers. We'll be able to patronize them. So immediately we start having the belief that they meet the quality, they can meet the quality we are getting from China, then we get to job. That's one of the major challenges. The second one is auto sector is a very big capital intensive sector. So as it is, most of the assembler or most of the participants in this sector don't have enough funds. And because of the kind of investments that are required, you cannot borrow from commercial bank at that rate. So securing the fund needed to improve or invest into this sector is a very challenging venture for our local assembler, because when you are in auto, you are not only competing with yourself within the system, you are competing with foreign brands, you are competing with those who are manufactured in Japan, those who are manufactured in Germany, those manufactured in China. And for you to be able to compete, you must be able to have competitive advantage. And one of the competitive advantage that Nigerians are very, very sensitive to is pricing. Immediately your price is, let's say, 5% above what they can get from other side, they will abandon you. And this is one of the major challenges, because the cost of fund in Nigeria is very, very high. It's part of the challenges we are facing in the auto sector. And again, part of the challenges we are facing is a lack of skilled personnel. So we have that challenge, we are addressing them one after the other.
So what are the investment opportunities in the automotive industry?
A lot. I mentioned, you don't even need to invest in the manufacturing of the vehicle itself. You can invest in production of spare parts. For example, in Nigeria today, the last statistic that was done, that Nigeria have about 12 million vehicles on the road. This is very low compared to our population. But even let's take that one. It means since you have 12 million vehicles on the road, you have about 48 million tires on the road minimum. So, and most of these tires, if you are a transporter, you send your tire between 4 to 6 months. If you are not a transporter, maybe you send once in a year. It means the number, you can now start thinking the number of tires that Nigeria procure in 1 year, use in 1 year. That's just only one part out of thousands of parts a particular vehicle will have. So investment in tire alone is a big investment. And then when you now go back to tricycle, motorcycle, you can now start multiplying the number of tires that we use in Nigeria. So investment in only one, that's tire alone, is massive. Investment, because this one we say brake pad, we change brake pad. Oil filter, we change oil filter. When you service your vehicle, you throw away the oil filter and you buy another one. It means all these parts you can invest in. Then we have CNG now. You can invest in conversion center where you convert this vehicle that is at ICE powered by PMS or ADO to CNG. And apart from that, you can invest in production of the kit for conversion. So a lot of things that you can do along the value chain. And some people invest in gas itself. You have daughter station and you have the other one. But the daughter station is movable, it's mobile. You can easily move it from one place to the other. And you can just focus on that. For me, in this my area, I want to provide daughter station for this area we are, so that anyone that want to buy CNG can come to me and buy the CNG within this place. And I can move it. I can even go to, I can say I want to put it between Lokoja and Abuja, somewhere there. And that's where I will be putting it from morning to evening and move it back. So a lot of investment opportunity in auto sector. So we are encouraging Nigerians to identify which area they can play. The other time we organize something for the youth on identify the value chain in CNG. Because in CNG program, there are a lot of value chain in CNG program which we explain to youth. Production of the kits, training, the conversion training, and with a lot that can be done in those areas. And we at least educate the youth on those value chain which people can invest in.
The future of mobility in Nigeria holds the promise of an environmentally friendly transportation system, and Oshanikwe's leadership of a National Automotive Design and Development Council will certainly play a significant role in this.
Thank you very much, Oluwemimon Joseph Oshanikwe. You have given us quite an insight into how the Nigerian Automotive Design and Development Council works. And we hope to have a sequel, because it's like there's a lot more that you're still keeping that you have not told us. We'll come for a part 2.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on to the program. And it's a wrap on account of stewardship. My name is Mayowa Oluwabi. Let's keep keeping our leaders accountable. Thank you for watching.